when the term family hauler comes to mind, you're probably thinking of an automobile that's over 2 million Philippine pesos, a diesel engine, a ride smooth as silk, and perhaps enough room for your entire family, quite obviously. Now, however many established players there are already in the market, Maxus figured there was room for one more. A lot of room. This is the Maxus G10 with the optional PWD Assist. Low rider. Now, the front clip is nothing spectacular really. It doesn't evoke any bad feelings, which is a good thing. It's not outlandish, and more importantly, it doesn't copy any rivals' designs, which I actually like. It's unique. You get halogen projector headlamps and fog lamps, and these headlamps actually kind of look like a Hollywood actor with blue eyes staring right into your soul. Ooh, chilly. Other than that, you get a large chrome grille up front with a huge Maxus logo. Pop the hood and you are looking at a 1.9-liter turbo diesel that produces 148 horses and 350 Nm of torque mated to a 6-speed automatic transmission. Now in the city, in the traffic like the devil's bunghole, we were able to get 6 km per liter. Not bad. When it started to clear up, we were able to get a much better 12 km per liter. Now on the highway, we expected a little bit more, but good enough for what it is and how heavy the car is, we were able to get 14 km to the liter. Down the side, you've got 2 of the 5 doors that this car comes with, and on either side, importantly, they are sliding doors. You've got repeaters on the side mirror, a nice cut down below that takes a chunk out of the car, giving it a little bit more look, a little bit more style, as does too the skirts. You're looking at 16-inch alloys wrapped in 70 series tires with a ground clearance of 134 millimeters. There really isn't much else to say about the side of the car other than the fact that it's got somewhat of a floating roof thanks to this area which is all blacked out. And this, it is aircon or bust because this thing doesn't open except for a little pop like that. Now at the rear, you're greeted by a rather tall, rather round facade, and it's actually pretty stylish. So too are the LED taillights and the fog lamps. If you open her up, you'll see that you have more than enough space for wheelchairs, bags, and whatnot if the third row is folded. When that's unfolded, well, it's either family or stuff. You gotta choose, can't have them both. Ugh, that's a big door. Look at the size of this glass. Doesn't it remind you of like a 60-gallon tank with fish? I have no idea why my right foot's up. Now the seating configuration doesn't change whether you get the G10 or the G10 Assist. This Assist is the only difference. Everything else is the same, including the 4 captain's chairs that you get in here and a bench for 3 people at the back. You don't have much toys though for the passengers back here. Only 2 charging points, a 12-volt socket and a 220-volt socket, which is actually very useful if you want to charge your laptop while you're on the go. You have air controls up here, air vents for everyone. The aircon is actually, I can attest to that, it's very cold. I'll give it this though, even with the footrests up front, it's actually very comfortable. And to be honest, you cannot go wrong with the captain's chair. You can't go wrong with 4 of them either. Nice! Up front, you've got your standard workhorse configuration. Apart from perhaps the leather on the door and the niceties on the dash, it really is pretty much standard. You've got your analog gauges that flanks a digital trip computer. You got buttons on your steering wheel, a 7-inch touchscreen infotainment system that doubles as your reverse camera and that also has proximity sensors up front and in the back. You've got your air controls up here. You've got your air controls here for the rear, and most importantly for the backseat drivers, a lollipop. I love these things. Oh, and armrest. This car is loaded with armrests. So many armrests, it's so nice. Speaking of arm resting, oh, what a segue. If you're not too tired or if your arms are not too tired, would you mind reaching out and pressing the subscribe button because we do love creating these videos just for you. Wait a minute, why am I driving? Oh! The Maxus G10 Assist also comes with driver, front passenger, and side airbags, ABS with EBD, front and rear parking sensors, reverse parking camera, and ISOFIX tethers. So in one of the 4 captain's chairs back here, and I gotta say that the ride is pretty fair, really. It's not smooth as butter, but it is substantially better than the other people movers out there or the other vans out there, simply because those guys are, well, leaf springs. This guy is on coil springs, so going over bumps is really not a problem. Headroom is massive, legroom obviously is massive, and the captain's chairs is unbeatable. It doesn't ride like a sedan, because nothing rides like a sedan except for a sedan, but I'll tell you this much, what it lacks, it makes up for it in space, and you cannot, and I can't stress this enough, you cannot beat a captain's chair. Any of these 4, can't beat them. Can't beat them. Now in the driver's seat, the view of the road is actually pretty darn good. However, the A-pillars can be a little large for some. There are little windows, but the help that they do is extremely marginal. It is a diesel, as I mentioned, after all, so there is a lot of torque when you hit the accelerator. Other than that, it's basically, like I mentioned, your standard workhorse configuration. The seat, however, see, Earl and Jack had a little bit of a problem, saying it was a little bit of cramped for them. I don't have that much of a problem because of my height, I guess, but the power seats will help a lot, so finding a good driving position shouldn't be a problem at all. I like it, really. It's not bad. The diesel engine is more than enough to carry its own weight, won't accelerate like a sports car, obviously. The only qualm that I might have is that the sluggish transmission can get to you every once in a while, and NVH can creep up on you once you pass maybe about 100 kilometers per hour. But other than that, as a city-driven people mover, not bad. The Maxus G10 is available at 1,790,000 Philippine pesos, which is quite a bargain actually for a people hauler. But if you want to get it with the PWD package, that's going to cost you a little less than 2,200,000 Philippine pesos, which, if you think about it, is actually a great tool for those that really need it. I should know, while filming this, I sent a video to my mother-in-law and she said, "Ooh, I want that." Undercutting a lot of its rivals with its price and yet over-torquing some of them with its diesel motor, if you want the G10, it does make a case for itself. It truly does.